Okay, we're back with another episode of High Rated Edison today. Today we have Roghnach on 1049 rating versus Lee Ski. What is this name? Lee Ski owns? Lee Ski owns. Okay. On 1065 rating. So both duelists inside the top 200, vying for their spot in the top 100. Let's see how this one goes down. So it's Dust Shoot, Retiari, Prisma, D-Prism, Test Tiger. So this is Glads by the looks of things. And they've got Cyber Dragon, Sphere of Chaos, Junk Synchron, Dupe Frog, Substoad, and Swap Frog. Yeah, so Roghnach seeming to go more in the way of like the Tim Ponce Spheres, Frogs, whatever he's calling it lately deck, which uses a lot of Junk Synchron stuff into Junk Warrior for big OTKs. Let's see how they do with it. Let's see what they're cooking up for us. Rognach's normally cooking something spicy. So they're going to start by pitching the dupe to summon the Swap Frog, dump the Substoad, summon out the Substoad, go through some frogs here. So swap, dump, sub, dupe coming out now, and they're going to pass over with the soft dupe block. So, okay. Going to start on this side. They're going to start with Prisma, dump Bestiari now. Then they're going to test Tiger. Yes, is good. Test Tiger for Darius. Yes, is really good. Yep. Make the Geyserus now. Pop both. Yeah, they are going to get Swap Frog, but you know, you got to trap Dust Shoot if you want to take care of that later. Battle phase, they're going to get in for 24 now, and they're going to be able to Retiari. Okay. Yeah, you're probably playing double Retiari, right? So maybe you just double Retiari knowing that you've got a D-Prison Dust Shoot to kind of deal with what's in the hand. And you don't really need this big Laquari here. I don't think you do. But yeah, just going to take out one Tree Ball, and that just feels like a bit of a waste. Oh, they've drawn the other Retiari. Yeah, I guess they're not playing three. So maybe I am just talking smack. Yeah, okay, they've drawn the other Retiari, so yeah, they won't have two to go into, so this is probably the best option they could have gone with. Big Laquari, Retiari, okay, yeah, I think that's good, that's fine, I'm clearly wrong. Pick up return is Soul Exchange now, so they're going to bring out the Treeborn Frog, that's going to come out with a Dust Shoot, they're going to see the hand, okay, yeah, they're seeing the hand and they're picking the Junk Synchron. That is just wrong though, right? Because they can just tribute with the Sphere and get that right back to hand. Yeah, I think this is one of the things that this deck does, right? Is the it's very sneaky in the way that the actual terrifying cards are not what you think. Like, so you don't think that Sphere of Chaos is terrifying. It's a 1600 tribute summon card, right? But the battle effect and the search effect make it kind of crazy. You know, obviously Lee Skeed knows that this is the threat, but you wouldn't think a Junk Synchron is that threatening usually, but it really is in this case. So yeah, the choice there is going to be Junk Synchron. I think that's wrong because they can just Sphere of Chaos back into it, but you're at least forcing them to do the Sphere of Chaos stuff. So we're going to Sphere of Chaos, add the Junk back. They're going to go to battle. They're going to try and get over the Retiari. That's going to get met with a D-Prison. Okay, they're going to special summon out the Cyber Dragon and pass. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that works. Pick up return there is Call of the Haunted. That's pretty good. They're going to summon out the Retiari. They're going to crash with the Laquari. They're going to get in with both Retiaris now. Unfortunately, the Retiaris can't swap back into each other, but this is still going to feel pretty good. They're going to Quest with one, grab back the Laquari, and they're going to Bestiari with the other. Not entirely sure why. Surely you're playing two Laquari. I'd have assumed you just Laquari there. I guess they want Bestiari to mount a counter attack, but you've just seen the hand and you know that it's Soul Exchange. Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Okay, pick up a turn is Gear Frame, so this is very different to the Ponce deck if he's playing Gear Frame Machina stuff. Okay, let's see what it is though. So, Treeborn Frog coming out now. They're going to summon out the Junk, grab the Swap Frog out of the grave. Going to use all three of those to make a Brio. Yeah, this is nice. Brio going to pitch, put back the Call, get into the Bestiari. Yeah, leaving Bestiari in grave's pretty dangerous, but I understand. And they're going to pass. Draw for turn is the Prisma now. Okay. They're going to set the MST, set the Call of the Haunted. Call of the Haunted target was a bit interesting though, right? Because like if your monster's summoned out, usually the back rows. I guess it's Glads, right? Yeah, I guess it's Glads. I guess you're playing around Book and D-Prison and all that kind of stuff. Okay, yeah, it's fine either way. So a quest sets at MST and call. Pick up a turn. There is a fortress. Jesus. So Treeborn coming out now. They're going to soul exchange. They're going to use the Treeborn and their opponent's monster for the fortress. They're going to pass. Draw for turn is trap stun. Okay, they're going to Prisma. Yeah, this is really good. They're going to Prisma, dump the Laquari. Then they're going to reborn the Bestiari. Yeah. And Roghnach has seen enough because that is a Geyserus. And yeah. It's just yeah, double attacks in, just way ahead. Gladbeast way too far ahead. Okay, opening hands for game at number 3. D-Prison, Sam Knight, Cold Wave, Starlight Road, and Laquari. This side they got Cyber Dragon, Heavy Storm, Substitoad, Caius, Sphere, and Machina Fortress. I'm just realizing this is a machine actually. So the kind of synergy here is that Fortress can discard itself and a sphere that's dead in the hand to bring itself out. So I'm seeing the logic, Roghnach. It's very cool. You're very clever. Going to pitch the sphere to summon out the Machina Fortress. Substitoad coming out now. Yep, Substitoad going to do full frog combo now. Yep, ending on dupe with all of the frogs in grave. Okay, this is nice. And just going to pass there, yeah, I mean, double dupe into Glads is pretty good, or it would be if they didn't have Book of Moon. So, going to start with, yeah, set, Starlight, D-Prison, Book. Going to bring out the Laquari and just going to pass there. Yeah, choosing not to get in. You could get in, you could book one, get into the one that's face up, and then tag out for a Mamillo, but yeah, I guess this just feels better. Pick up a turn of Soul Exchange there. I wonder if Rognach's going to fire this Heavy Storm off. They should know better, but it is tempting, and I wouldn't blame them. Main one. Oh, they're going to do it. That's going to go into the Starlight Road now. That is rough. They're going to Soul Exchange that Stardust, though, so this is still pretty good, actually. Yeah. Caius, get rid of the Laquari. That actually is a really good conversion from what that Starlight Road looked like it was about to do. Pick up a turn is Chariot there, and I think Gladbeast they've just not got a way to get through this, right? So Gladbeast out, set the Cold Wave. Yeah, draw for turn. There is another Soul Exchange. I think you could do it again. Yeah, they're gonna do it again. They're gonna tribute the Sam Knight to set the Cyber Dragon and pass. Draw for turn is the Transmigration Prophecy, which they're gonna set and pass. Draw for turn is a Caius now. So they're going to tribute over the Treeborn. They're going to try and take out a back row. That hits the Cold Wave. They're going to go battle phase. They're going to get in for 21, 24. That's going to get met with the D-Prison though. So just a 21. Draw for turn is Test Tiger, pass. Draw for turn is Fortress. Going to try and get in again. So 21, 24. Yep. So don't forget this is Chariot, Book, and Trans. So they have still got a way to avoid one of the attacks. But yeah, it's not going to be enough. They're going to set the Call of the Haunted, set the Test Tiger, just trying to survive here. Kai's going to go into the Tiger. Cyber Dragon going to get hit with the Book of Moon. Set the Raigeki Break and pass. Draw for turn is a quest now. Yeah, the Raigeki Break's just going to shut all this down, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. And Leesky sees it. Okay, going into game 3 then. So we got game 3 on our hands. Roghnach is going to get no, he's not going to get to start, sorry, Leesky's going to get to start. Okay, so Gladbeast's going to start us off. It's double dupe, Caius, swap, MST, Starlight, Bestiari, Book, Trans, Test, and Sam Knight. Okay. They're going to set the Prophecy, set the Starlight Road, set the Book, and pass. Oh, and the Bestiari, and pass over. Yeah, I mean, any Gladbeast and a Test Tiger, any one that isn't Darius, just means that setting this, if this goes to grave, you know, you're going to be you're going to be Geyserus them in the next turn. So, and if they leave it, then you're going to Geyserus them anyway. So, yeah, this feels good. They have to try and remove this with Caius. So there is a play here, special summon swap, pitch dupe, dump Treeborns, but summon out Kaius, try and get rid of it. But yeah, it's just whether or not Roghnach sees that is the optimal line. They're going to MST, they're going to hit the Transmigration Prophecy, they are going to go for it. Okay, this is really good. If they do the Kaius play here, this is really good. They're going to dump the Treeborn. No, they're just... Oh, they're going to do it again. Okay, they're going to double dump Treeborns, then they're going to Kaius. Wow, that is a lot of commitment into this board, though. Wow, that's a lot of commitment. I guess you've just seen the Transmigration Prophecy, so you no longer have any like one card to be afraid of, but there's lots of, 2-card combos to be afraid of. They're going to banish the Bestiari now. And they're not going to get him for any damage. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. They're trying to maintain the Kaius presence. Going to start with Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm into their own Starlight Road here. Stardust coming out now. Sam Knight coming out with the Test Tiger. Going to trade that for a Secutor. Jesus. Okay. Talk about the tide has turned. Call an ambulance, but not for me. Stardust getting in now, and then Secutor getting in now. This is going to be a huge uphill battle for Roghnach, especially with no Treeborn access. Getting rid of both Treeborns there. Yeah, there's just nothing they can do in response to that. Wow. Wow, what a turnaround from the Glad Beast player. Okay, GG said. Wow. Okay, so this Roghnach deck, very spicy, as usual. Machina, Frog, Sphere stuff, really cool. Rognach's always cooking up some spicy Frog decks for us to take a look at. But, one of the decks that Frogs are going to struggle into is just this Glad Beast stuff. Constant access to Retiari, constant access to Mamillo, and Geyserus lines with Darius and stuff. Equest to get back Chariots. We didn't see any of that, but it's there. But just really heads up plays on this side from Leeski. Really well played, really good pilot on this Gladiator Beast deck, and able to take it against a really... Rognach's a threatening player to come up against. We all... oh, it's the fun deck builder guy, right? But the stuff he builds is terrifying. Like, you don't want to... even worse, you don't want to come up against someone who's got a really good handle on the format and is also playing cards you've never read before. That's terrifying. So, yeah, really big win for Leeski there over one of the format kind of goats. But definitely at the minute, with all the kind of stuff they're producing, just really good lines, really good clean lines there. Yeah, I mean, Starlight Road, waste your own storm on your own Starlight Road, bring the Stardust out, get over that Kaius after you've built a Secutor with its effect. That's huge, and you're just then, yeah, you don't know what the other card in hand is, but it seemed like they knew what the other card in hand was, because then they went for the double Retiari line to get rid of both of those Treeborns. So really well played on this side. Glad Beasts, finally, I've featured Glad Beasts recently a couple of times, and they're not really showing off that much. They're kind of being quite slow to get started, but yeah, Leeski really showing why this deck is still a top tier threat in Edison, even when it's coming up against some of the engines like Frogs, like Machina, which you would think have a really good kind of matchup against it, but able to see through all that, play through it, and get a big win here. Really good match to watch.